all the other noises. Water. Evening. How was your day today? I have to BGM isn't today, actually. And I'm sorry for any jump scares I'm going to inflict tonight. I'm not doing it intentionally. I had such a busy day today. It's work and then my God, she's not picking up. Hold on. Okay, there we go. I think. What if I just make gremlin noises? I'm trying to open the thingy. Wait, hold on. Thingy in the background. Can everyone hear me? Oh my God. Udah sempat lepas tapi dapat. It's okay. Udah sih. Okay. No, oh my God. I'm trying to make sure the PNG picks up something, but it's not picking up anything. Maybe like no. Oh my gosh. Papa. She can't. Hi, sayuu. Hello. The stream, how are you? How's your day? Tanya nih, tiba-tiba aja full name basis risau. I think it should be here, mayhaps. Errors. Wait, hold on. You don't need to see this. I actually don't know which one moves my mouth. Lol. Maybe this one. No, that's not it. No. Oh no, not that one. That's the wrong one. Oh my gosh. Oh, this one I think. No, again. I'm sorry. Not this one. Wait, no. This one is not either. I don't know which one it is. Okay, oh, I don't know which one. It's like the thingy for my mouth thingy. So she doesn't speak loud. What can be done, everyone? I'm even using the mic closest to my mouth. Up, 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 up. I don't know, man. It's okay, lad. Let's start that today. Wait. Let me switch to mine. This one. Okay. I think we're good now. How was your day, everyone? Can you guys hear me? Or the music too? I'm going to maybe lower the music a bit. Like that. Good. Okay. Wait, what's the other one now? Let me check. What's this one? Oh, okay. Okay, alright. I hope you all had a wonderful day today. Because I had such a busy day. I didn't even get to do my own things. Didn't get to sketch anything. Like stream earlier, I would have done a drawing stream first for the first half, and then we would have gone for the bedtime story for the second half. But yeah, so yeah, there's that. So after the stream, after I knock everyone out via murder, I'm going to draw until I fall asleep. Yatta! Get settled in, everyone. I want to open a bottle. Okay. Let's get started. We're going to read the Grimm's fairy tale again. You know what, actually, let me turn up the volume for my mic. I'm gonna touch the mic for a bit, everyone. I'm sorry. Okay, I think that should be enough. It's not at maximum, because maximum is weird. But it should still be loud enough that people can hear me. I'm sorry for all the loud noises, though. seconds. Go. Get your water bottles, everyone. Get settled in the bed. And yeah. Do your skincare or whatever. We have 30 seconds. And then the ad is like a minute, I think. Wait for a while, okay? After that, I'll start reading. Yaaayy. I'm glad the Wi-Fi has been doing well lately. I don't know what I'd be doing if I couldn't do this final anniversary stream for a long time. I would feel stressed, I think. I need to get something. Give me a second. Sorry. There's like 60 seconds left to the ads. Let's wait for it. Let me get my earphone. Okay. Go. I'm going to sound like the ghost in your room. I live in your room tonight, everyone. Wow. I actually don't remember how I did the last bedtime stream because I feel like I was whispering a lot louder than compared to now. Good evening, Amin. How's your day? So what's happening? Nothing. The ad break ended, so we're going to start. What's the word? We're going to start reading soon. But yeah, anyway, I don't remember how I whispered during the last bedtime stream. It's loud, ka? I did turn up the mic a little bit. If it's not picking up too much background noises, I might just keep it at this volume. This is making my throat itch, honestly. What the fuss? Also, I'm glad you're doing good. I mean, hope you had a wonderful day today. And a wonderful day tomorrow as well. Wait, I lost my place. So much throat clearing. Okay, there we go. I'm going to start reading. stream already passed lah. Yeah. I'm trying to be careful so that I don't make too much noise. Okay. Let's start reading. The young giant and the tailor. A husbandman had once a son who was born no bigger than my thumb, and for many years did not grow a hair's breadth taller. One day, as the father was going to plow in the field, the little fellow said, "Father, let me go too." "No," said father, "stay where you are." Sorry, I'm confused. Where was I? "No," said his father, "stay where you are. You can do no good out of doors. And if you go, perhaps I may lose you." Then, little tumbling and crying, and his father, to quiet him, at last said he might go. So he put him in his pocket, and when he was in the field, pulled him out and set him upon a newly made furrow that he might look about. While he was sitting there, a great giant came striding over the hill. "Do you see the pock-stippled man?" said the father. "He will run away with you." Now, he only said this to frighten the little boy if he should be naughty. But the giant had long legs, and with 2 or 3 strides, he really came close to the furrow and picked up little Tumbling to look at it, and taking a liking to the little chap, went off with it. The father stood by all the time, but could not say a word for fright. His papa just gave him up, for he thought his child was really lost, and that he should never see him again. But the giant took care of him at his house in the woods, and laid him in his bosom, and fed him with the same food that he lived on himself. So Tumbling, instead of being a little dwarf, became like the giant, tall and stout and strong, so that at the end of 2 years, when the old giant took him into the wood to try him, and said, "Pull up that birch tree for yourself to walk with," the lad was so strong that he tore it up by the root. The giant thought he should make him a still stronger man than this. So, after taking care of him 2 years more, he took him into the wood to try his strength again. This time, he took hold of one of the biggest oaks and pulled it up as if it were mere sport. Then the old giant said, "Well done, my man. You will do now." So he carried him back to the field where he first found him. I don't know why I got to see reading. I'm allergic to reading, apparently. His father happened to be just then, as the young giant went up to him, saying, "Look here, father, see who I am. Don't you see I am your son?" But the husbandman was frightened and cried out, "No, no, you are not my son. Be gone about your business. Indeed, I am your son. Let me plow a little. I can plow as well as you. Now, go your ways," said the father. But as he was afraid of the tall man, he at last let go of the plow and sat down on the ground beside it. Mans was literally an anak bungot. Then the youth laid hold of the plowshare, and though he only pushed with one hand, he drove it deep into the earth. The plowman cried out, "If you must plow, pray do not push so hard. You are doing more harm than good." But he took off the horses and said, "Father, go home and tell my mother to get ready a good dinner. I'll go around the field. Meanwhile, why are you crying? Why is nothing bad has happened yet? I just got kidnapped and the godfather, apparently." So he went on driving the plow without any horses till he had done 2 mornings' walk by himself. Then he ended, and when all was over, took a plow, harrow, horses and all, carried them home like a bundle of straw. When he reached the house, he sat himself down on the bench, saying, "Now, mother, is dinner ready?" "Yes," said she, for she dared not deny him. So she brought 2 large dishes full, enough to have lasted herself and her husband 8 days. However, he soon ate it all up and said that was about a taste. That was but a taste. Bijuan ay horrified. Muchi-muchi sayuu, nilasik na niya. Welcome to stream. How is your day? I hope you had a wonderful day today. We're reading one of the Grimm's fairy tales titled The Young Giant and the Tailor. My throat hurts. That's good. I see very well, Father, that I found For this, the horses to the cart and drove them to the forge and brought back a bar of iron as long and as thick as two horses could draw. But the lad laid it against his knee and snapped. It went like a broken beanstalk. I see, but, said he, you can get no stick that will do for me. So I'll go and try my luck by myself. I'm sorry, what the heck? This child gets kidnapped for like four years, comes back and judges the way his parents lived. What a terrible thought. It's judging Judgison time. Then away he went, and the blacksmith, and travelled till he came to a village where lived a miserly smith who earned a good deal of money, but kept all he got to himself and gave nothing away to anybody. The first thing he did was to step into the smithy and ask if the smith did not want a journeyman. Said the cunning fellow, as he looked at him and thought what a stout chap he was, and how lustily he would work and earn his bread. What wages do you ask? I want no pay, said he, but every fortnight, when the other workmen are paid, you shall let me give you 2 strokes over the shoulders to amuse myself. The old smith thought he could bear this very well, and reckoned on saving a great deal of money, so the bargain was soon struck. The next morning, the new workman was about to begin to work, but at the first stroke that he hit, when his master brought him the iron red hot, he shivered it in pieces, and the anvil sank so deep into the ground that he could not get it out again. This made the old fellow very angry. "Hello!" cried he. "Hey, kitty, shame, how are you today? Let me introduce myself. My name is Sayuu. I normally don't whisper in my usual streams. No, it is whispery. Bedtime story reading time. So yeah, thank you for the follow. So hello, I'm a friend with aaandd. Thank you, aaandd. Welcome to the channel. Very joyous. The normal itinerary is filled with sympathy. So stick around and join us in the Discord server for more sympathy. I feel like I need to change the way I whisper, but I low-key have forgotten how I did that. I think maybe whispering is the thing that is making me dizzy. Where was I? Hello. Oh, I'm continuing to read. We are reading The Young Giant and the Tailor Sorry, I can't have you for a walkman. You are too clumsy. We must put an end to our bargain. Very well, said the other. But you must pay for what I have done. So let me give you only one little stroke, and then the bargain is all over. So saying, he gave him a tongue that tossed him over a load of hair, hay, that stood near. Then he took the thickest bar of iron on the forge for a walking stick and went on his way. This child, he got kidnapped. He judged his parents. He destroyed someone else's property. And now he's stealing. Mary, that's a swat for this one. Okay. When he had journeyed some way, he came to
Drink Strepsil.
It doesn't work. I tried everything. And my throat has been like this for a month now. You should have been here for the karaoke stream. Oh, thank goodness. I already disabled all of these sound alerts. But I guess I forgot about the TTS. Lol. When he had journeyed some way, he came to a farmhouse and asked the farmer if he wanted a foreman. He's just terrorizing people now, damn. The farmer said yes, and the same wages were agreed for as before with the blacksmith. The next morning, the workmen were all to go into the wood, but the giant was found to be fast asleep in his bed. When the rest were all up and ready to start, "Come, get up," said one of them to him. "It is high time to be stirring. You must go with us." "Go your way," muttered he sulkily. "I shall have done my work and get home long for you." So he lay in bed 2 hours longer. "Evening, sayuu. Why are we whispering? It's the final anni itinerary. It's bedtime, whispery time. Good evening, is. Hello, what's your day? I hope you had a wonderful day today." And at last got up and cooked and ate his breakfast, and then at his leisure harnessed his horses to go to the woods. I think the neighbor concerned. No. Neighbor never concerned. They are more noisy than I am, please. Just before the wood was a hollow, through which all must pass. So he drove the cart on first and built up behind him such amount of faggots and briars that no horse could pass. Me and my neighbor are both noise pollution to one another. It's been that way since we've been acquainted, so it's okay. This time, he drove on, and as he was going into the wood, met the others coming out on their road home. Driveway, said he, I shall be home before you still. He's so arrogant, I don't like him. We're supposed to be rooting for him. He's the main character. What is this writing? However, they only went a very little way into the wood and tore one of the largest timber trees, put it into his cart, and turned about homewards. When he came to the path of wagons, he found all the others standing there, not being able to pass by. So, said he, you see, if you had stayed with me, you would have been home just as soon and might have slept an hour or two longer. Then he took his tree on one shoulder and his cart on the other and pushed through as easily as though he were laden with feathers. And when he reached the yard, showed the tree to the farmer and asked if it was not a famous walking stick. He left the other woman there. I don't like this main character. Wife, said the farmer, this man is worth something. Drink a lot of water, yeah? Okay, I will get it. No, you cannot. What do you mean? I actually, instead of just like the usual, I feel like my throat is drowning, if that makes sense. It feels like, you know how when you get water up your nose, and then I don't know, it goes to the back of it. That's how it feels like. That's why. It's extra annoying. Time rolled on, and he had served the farmer his whole year. And his fellow laborers were paid. He said he also had a right to take his wages. But great dread came upon the farmer at the thought of the blows he was doing. So he begged him to give up the old bargain and take his old farm and stock instead. Not I, said he. I will be no farmer. I am foreman, and so I mean to keep and be paid as we agreed. Finding he could do nothing with him, the farmer only begged one fortnight's respite and called together all his friends to ask their advice in the matter. It's about to move to the other universe. R.I.P. They bethought themselves for a long time and at last agreed that the shortest way was to kill this troublesome foreman. The next thing was to settle how it was to be done. And it was agreed that he should be ordered to carry into the yard some great millstones. And to put them on the edge of a well, that then he should be sent down to clean it out. And when he was at the bottom, the millstones should be pushed down upon his head. Everything went well, and when the foreman was safe in the well, the stones were rolled. As they struck the bottom, the water splashed to the very top. Of course, they thought his head must be crushed to pieces, but he only cried out, "Drive away the chickens from the well. They are pecking about in the sand above me and throwing it into my eyes so that I cannot see." When his job was done, up he sprang from the well, saying, "Look here, see what a fine neckcloth." As he pointed to one of the millstones that had fallen over his head and hung about his neck, the farmer was again overcome with fear and begged another fortnight to think of it. His friends were called together again and at last gave this advice, that the foreman should be sent and made to grind corn by night at the haunted mill, whence no man had ever come out in the morning alive. That very evening, why am I the one sleepy? What the hell? That very evening, he was told to carry 8 bushels of corn to the mill and grind them in the night. Away he went to the loft, put 2 bushels in his right pocket, 2 in his left, and 4 in a long sack slung over his shoulders, and then set off to the mill. The miller told him, "You might grind there in the daytime, but not by night, for the mill was bewitched." And whoever went in at night had been dead in the morning. What is your favorite thing you like? That's not in the story, everyone. Sorry. How? In what category though? I guess top of the thing is I like to sleep. Hell yeah. Never mind, Miller. I shall come out safe. Only make haste and get out of the way and look out for me in the morning. So he went into the mill and put the corn into the hopper, and about 12 o'clock sat himself down on the bench in the miller's room. After a little time, the door all at once opened of itself, and in came a large table. On the table stood wine and meat, and many good things besides. All seemed placed there by themselves. At any rate, there was no one to be seen. The chairs next moved themselves round it, but still neither guests nor servants came. Then all at once he saw fingers handling the knives and forks and putting food on the plates, but still nothing else was to be seen. Our friend felt somewhat hungry as he looked at the dishes, so he sat himself down at the table and ate whatever he liked best. And when he was pitch dark, he felt a tremendous blow upon his head. If I get such another box on the ear, said he, I shall just give it back again. And this he really did when the next blow came. Thus the game went on all night, and he never let fear get the better of him, but kept dealing his blows round. Then at daybreak all was well. Well, Miller, said he in the morning, I have some fun little slaps on the face, but I've given as good. I'll warrant you. And meantime, I have eaten as much as I liked. The miller was glad. The charm was proven and would have given him a great deal of money. Right after, lepaskan lang outlas the malu. Hello, how are you? How's your day? Ay, nakot. I legit am getting sleepy. What the hell? Tak sabar. Tengok stream Outlast dalam mimpi je lah bang. Dilarang berharap. I want no money. Name your price. Tidak ada price. Tidak boleh. Tak apa. Try winning tiket lagi lah. Dari apa? I want no money. I have quite enough, said he, as he took the meal on his back and went back home to his master to claim his wages. But the farmer was in a rage, knowing there was no help for him, and paced the room up and down, till the drops of sweat ran down his forehead. Then he opened the window for a little fresh air, and before he was aware, his foreman gave him the first blow and kicked him out of the window over the hills and far away. And next sent his wife after him. And why the wife? Oh my god, this guy's so rude. And there, for aught I know, they may be flying in the air still. But the young giant took up his iron walking stick and walked on. Train, King Halo. I just finished Kikokasho with King Halo earlier. I was dreading Kikokasho, honestly, because last time I trained Tokaldeo and didn't manage to place in Kikokasho. I worry for the next one, because that one I have to place first. Ha 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 ha. This was the same giant that the bald little tailor met when he set out on his travels, and I one summer morning, when this little man found his girdle around his body and looked about his house to see if there was anything good to take with him on his journey into the wide world, he could only find an old cheese, but that was better than nothing. So he took it up, and as he was going out, the old hen met him at the door, and he packed her into his wallet with the cheese. Then off he set, and when he had climbed a high hill, he found the giant sitting on top. "Good day, comrade," said he. "There you sit at your ease, and look the wide world over. I have a mind to go and try my luck in that same world. What do you say to going with me?" Then the giant looked at him and said, "You are a poor, trumpery little knave." "That may be," said the tailor, "but we shall see who is the best man of the two." The giant, finding the little man so bold, began to be a little more respectful, and said they would soon try who was the master. So he took a large stone in his hand and squeezed it till water dropped from it. "Do that," said he, "if you have a mind to be taught a strong man." "Is that all?" said the tailor. "I will do as much." So he put his hand in his wallet, pulled out the cheese, which was quite new, and squeezed it till the way ran out. "What do you say now, Mr. Giant? My squeeze was a better one than yours." Then the giant, not seeing that it was only a cheese, did not know what to say for himself. Though he could hardly believe his eyes. You would not believe your eyes. At last, he took up a stone and threw it up so high that it almost went out of sight. "Now then, little pygmy, do that if you can." "Very good," said the other. "Your throw was not a bad one, but after all, your stone falls to the ground. I will throw something that shall not fall at all." "That you can't do," said the giant. But the tailor took his old hand and threw up in the air, and she, pleased enough to be set free, flew away out of sight. "Now, comrade," said he, "what do you say to that?" "I say you are a clever hen," said the giant, "but we will now try how you can work." He threw a hand into the air. I mean, do you not understand? This whole story feels like someone is hallucinating. Then he led him into the wood where a tree lay flat. "Now let us drag it out of the wood together." "Very well. Do you take the thick end, and I his shoulder. But the cunning little rogue, instead of carrying anything, set himself at his ease among the branches and let the giant carry stem, branches, and tailor into the bargain. All the way he went, he made merry and talked and sang his song as if carrying the tree for mere sport. My God, I'm sleepy. My God, shut up, dear. Let me drink for a bit. Oh, there's like 5 more pages to the story. What the hell? Hi, Sleepy. Salam kenal. Hai, kenal. Salam, Sleepy. Thank you for the sub. I get it. I appreciate the sub. One the giant, after he had borne it a good way, could carry it no longer, and said, I must let it fall. Have a great night. Good night, Kakirin. Thank you for dropping by today. Have a good sleep. Bye, Asami. And held the tree as if he were carrying it, saying, what a shame.
Remember, drink strepsil.
Yes, I will drink strepsil after this. Okay. Good night, okay. What a shame that such a big lump as you cannot carry a tree like this. And on they went together till they came to a tall cherry tree. And the giant took hold of the top stem and bent it down to pluck out the ripest fruit. And when he had done, gave it over to his friend that he might eat. But the little man was so weak, he could not hold the tree down, and up he went with it, swinging in the air. Hello, said the giant. What now? Can't you hold that twig? To be sure I'm good, said the other. But don't you see, there's a huntsman who is going to shoot into the bush where we stood. So I took a jump over the tree to be out of his way. Do you do the same? The giant tried to follow, but the tree was far too hard to jump over, and he only stuck fast in the branches for the tailor to laugh at him. Well, you're a fine fellow after, said the giant. So come home slept there soundly. When midnight came, the giant came in softly with his iron walking stick and gave such a stroke upon the bed where he thought his guest was lying that he said to himself, "It's all up now with that grasshopper. I shall have no more of his chicks. What's wrong with this person?" In the morning, the giants went into the woods and quite forgot about him, till all on a sudden they met him trudging along, whistling a merry tune, and so terrified were they at the sight, but they both ran away as fast as they could. Then on went the little tailor, following his bloody nose, till at last he reached the king's court and began to brag very loudly of his mighty deeds. Saying he was come to serve the king. To try him, they told him that the two giants who lived in a part of the kingdom a long way off would become the dread of the whole land, for they had begun to rob, plunder, and ravage all about them, and that if he was so great, as he said, he should have 100 soldiers and should set out to fight these giants, and if he beat them, he should have half the kingdom. With all my heart, said he, but as for 100 soldiers, I believe I shall do as well without them. Bagus betul nih doang. Doa-doa narcissistic. They set off together till they came sorry everyone. However, they set off together till they came to a wood. "Wait here, my friends," said he to the soldiers. "I will soon give a good account of these giants." Sedap bunyi Dewi dong. Amin, please. Y'all, listen to your people have always been able to hear me drink water. What the heck? And on he went, casting a sharp little eye here, there, and everywhere around him. After a while, he spied them both, lying under a tree and snoring away to the very bows whistled with the breeze. "The game's won for a penny," said the little man as he filled his wallet with stones and climbed the tree under which they lay. As soon as he was safely up, he threw one stone after another at the nearest giant, till at last he woke up in a rage and shook his companion, crying out, "What did you strike me me for? Nonsense. You are dreaming, said the other. I did not strike you. Then both lay down to sleep again, and the tailor threw stones at the second giant. Billy sprang up and cried, "What about you? You struck me." "I did not," said the other, and on they wrangled for a while. Then, as both were tired, they made up the matter and fell asleep again. But then the tailor began his game once more. The large stone he had in his wallet. His purse and hit the first giant on the nose. "That is too bad," cried he, as if he was mad. "I will not." So he struck the other a mighty blow. He, of course, was not pleased at this, and gave him just another such box on the ear, and at last a bloody battle began. Up flew the trees by the roots. The rocks and stones went bang at one another's heads, and in the end, both lay dead on the spot. These giants are very skill issue. Oh my god, like Nyara. How many minutes is Nya? I forgot already. 20, okay. It's been such a long time since we did Nyara. 30, wow. Apa ini dusta, fitnah, betrayal, sama seperti yang dipikirkan oleh giant-giant dalam cerita ini. Dasar Anda semua. Okay, 20 minutes starting now. All men did is lie. Yeah, all men do is lie. It is a good thing that the tailor yarn that they let my tree stand, or I must have made a jump. And down he ran and took his sword and gave each of them a very wood or two and set off to look for the soldiers Nyara. Saya tak tipu. You also. All men do is lie, Nyara. Well, the giants now, said he, I have killed them, but it has been no small job. They even tore trees up in their struggles, Nyara. Have you any friends now? Asked they now. That is a likely matter. Truly, Nyara, said he, they have not touched a hair of my head. But the soldiers would not believe it till they rode into the wood and found the giants weltering in their blood. Now, he is lying torn up by the roots, Nyara. much pleased at the thought of giving up half his kingdom to a tailor. Yeah. So he said, "You have not yet done. In the palace court lies a bear with whom you must pass the night. And if when I rise in the morning I find you still living, you shall then your reward." Yeah. Yeah. He thought he had got rid of it. The bear had never let anyone away alive who had come within reach of his claws. Nyara. "Very well, Nyara," said the tailor. "I am willing now." So when the evening came, our little tailor was led out and shut up in the court with the bear, who rose at once to give him a friendly welcome with his paw. Nyara. "Softly, softly, my friend Nyara," said he. "Yeah, I know a way to please you, Nyara." Then, at his ease, and as if he cared nothing about the matter, he pulled out of his pocket some fine walnuts, cracked them now, and ate the kernels. When the bear saw this, he took a great fancy to having some nuts too, Nyara. So the tailor felt in his pocket, gave him a handful of the walnuts, but nice round pebbles. I don't like the tailor though. There's no redeeming character in this story. It's only the bear, Nyara. What the heck? The bear snapped them up, Nyara, but could not crack one of them to what he would. That is so mean, Nyara. That is so mean, Nyara. The bear was friendly to you, Nyara. Nyara. What a clumsy thing the art, Nyara. But the beast itself, there now. The cats not crack a nut today. Then said he to the tailor, "Crack me the nuts from the big one. There's no one else to look for in this story. The giant, ass. The tailor is also an ass. The bear is the only redeeming person in the story so far, Nyara. And we also have one victim, which is the wife of the farmer, Nyara." What the farmer also not a good person, Nyara. She tried to murder the giant, and I get it. I get it. I would attempt murder to Nyara if I knew of the giant, Nyara. But oh my god. Why? What a loud you are, said the tailor. You think that, and now you're insulting him. Justice for the bear, Nyara. Bear. Perhaps such a jaw as that is not be able to crack a little nut. Would engage to be friends with me, and now you. What the? He manipulated the bear. Hello, police. Ini orang yang modal, but police. It's me. I'm the murderer. You'll never catch me alive. you do it? I'm sure I can do it myself, Nera. Then the tailor gave him the cobblestones again. Nera, I hate this tailor. Am I supposed to be rooting for the tailor here? What the hell is the lesson of the story, Nera? And the bear lay down and walked away as hard as it could. No. Bear. No. The trick bear. Oh my god. And bit with all his force till he broke all his teeth and lay down quite tired. No. Not the bear. Oh, my heart is coconut. My coconut. But the tailor began to think this would not last long, and that the bear might find him out and break the bargain. Mr. Tailor, sir, if you got eaten by the bear, that is fate, okay? You should have let yourself be returned to Mother Nature, Yara. I hate him. I feel like I probably one day. Okay, hold on. So he pulled out a fiddle from under his coat and played him a tune, Yara. As soon as the bear heard it, he could not help jumping up and beginning to dance. Yes, I can move my finger, but only like for a bit. It's only that. Tuhan yang satu. Where was I? And when he had checked away for a while, the thing pleased him so much that he said, "Hark ye, friend, is the fiddle to play upon, Nara?" "No, not at all," said the other. "Look ye, I lay my left hand here, and then I take the bow with my right hand down and scrape it over the strings there, and away it goes merrily. Hop sa sa, fun la la. Nara, will you teach me to fiddle, Nara?" said the bear, "so that I may have music whenever I want to dance." "With all my heart, now." But I look at your claws. They are so very long that I must clip your nails a little bit. Then the bear lifted up his paws, one after another, and the tailor screwed them down tight and said, "Now wait till I come with my scissors as loud as he liked and laid himself down on a heap of straw in the corner and slept soundly. Yara. In the morning, when the king came, now he found the tailor sitting merrily eating his breakfast and could no longer help keeping his word, and thus the little man became a great one. Yara. That was a terrible story. What the hell? Let me. Okay. I'll read you guys one more story, I think. And then after that, I'll end the stream. I am actually quite sleepy already. But the next story is kind of fairly short. So, yeah, let me drink water first. Okay. Did I ask? I don't think I asked anything. Nyara. I should have told Nyara. I forgot. There's like 5 more minutes to the Nyara. When at last, never, never, ever, forever, never. Okay. Let's continue with the next one and the last one. When Persona 5, I don't know, isn't Persona like 100 ringgit or something? There's a game I plan to buy tomorrow, maybe. So that I'll be using like the last slot of game buying that I have for this year. Any other purchase of games will have to wait until next year. It is. I'll wait for discount. Okay. So the last. It's called The Prince and the Soldier. A worthy soldier had saved a good deal of money out of his pay, Nyara, for he worked hard now and did not spend all he earned in eating and drinking as many others do, Nyara. Now he had 2 comrades who were great rogues, Nyara, and wanted to rob him of his money, but behaved outwardly towards him in a friendly way. That comrade said they to him one day, "Why should we stay here, shut up in this town like prisoners, Nyara, when you and any raid have earned enough to live upon for the rest of your days in peace and plenty at home by your own fireside nyara. They talked so often to him and his men that he at last said he would go and try his luck with them nyara. But they all the time thought of nothing but how they should manage to steal his money from him nyara. What the hell? When they had gone a little way nyara, the two rogues said, "We must go by the right road, for that will take us quickest into another country where we shall be safe nyara." Now, they knew all the while that what they were saying was untrue nyara. As soon as the soldier said, "No, that will take us straight back into the town we came from nyara. We must keep on the left hand." They begged a quarrel with him and said, "What do you give yourself airs for nyara? You know nothing about it." And then they fell upon him and knocked him down and beat him over the head till he was blind. What the hell, man? Then they took all the money out of his pockets and dragged him to a gallows tree that stood hard by, bound him fast down at the foot of it, and went back into the town with the money nyara. Okay naman niya. But the poor blind man did not know where he was, and he felt all around him, and finding that he was bound to a large beam of wood, thought it was a cross, and said, "After all they have done kindly in leaving me under a cross, now heaven will guard me." So he raised himself up and began to pray. When night came on, he heard something fluttering over his head. It turned out to be 3 crows who flew round and round, and at last perched upon the tree. By and by, they began to talk together, and he heard one of them say, "Sister, what is the bad news with you today?" "Oh, if men knew what we knew," said the other. "The princess is ill, and the king has vowed to marry her to anyone who will cure her. But this none can do, for she will not be well until yonder flower is burned to ashes and swallowed by her." "Oh, indeed," said the other girl. "If men did but know what we know, would fall from heaven a dew of such a healing power that even the blind man who washes his eyes with it will see again." And the third spoke and said, "Oh, if men knew what we knew, the flower is wanted but for one, the dew is wanted but for few. But there is a great dearth of water in the spring up. When the three crows had done talking, he heard them fluttering around again, and at last they flew, greatly wondering at what he had heard, and overjoyed at the thought of getting his sight. He tried with all his strength to break loose from the bonds. At last, he found himself free and plucked the grass that grew beneath him and washed his eyes with the dew that had fallen upon it. At once, his eyesight came to him again, and he saw by the light of the moon and the stars that he was beneath the gallows tree, and not the cross as he had thought. Hold on. I got sleepy by my own reading. What the hell? Where am I? Then he gathered together in a bottle as much of the dew as he could to take away with him, and looked around till he saw the flower that grew close by, and when he had burned it, he gathered up its ashes and set out on his way towards the king's court. When he reached the palace, he told the king he has come to cure the princess, and when she had taken off the ashes and been made well, he claimed her for his wife as the reward was to be given. But the king, looking upon him and seeing that his clothes were so shabby, would not keep his word, and thought he'd get rid of anyone by saying, "Whoever wants to have the princess for his wife must find enough water for the use of the town, where there is this summer a great dearth." Then the soldiers went out and told the people. I'm starting to read things that are in my brain instead of what's actually in the book then. Take up the square stone in the market. Place and dig for water underneath. And when they had done so, there came up a fine spring that gave enough water for the whole town. So the king could no longer get off giving him his daughter, and they were married and lived happily together. Sometime after, as he was walking one day through a field, he met his two wicked comrades who had treated him so basely. Though they did not know him, he knew them at once and went up to them and said, "Look upon me. I am your old comrade, whom you beat and robbed and left defeated your wicked wishes and turned all the mischief you brought upon me into good luck. When they heard this, they fell at his feet and begged him for pardon. And he had a kind and good heart, so he forgave them and took them to his palace and gave them food and clothes, and he told them all that had happened and how he had reached these honors. Then plotted down. Men were just rubbing it in their face. After they had learned the whole story, they said to themselves, why should not we go and set some knight under the gallows? We may hear something that will bring us good luck. Next night, they stole away. And when they had sat under the tree a little while, they heard a fluttering noise over their heads, and the three crows came and perched upon it. Sisters, said one of them. Hey, sisters. Someone must have overheard us, for all the world is talking of the wonderful things that have happened. The princess is well. The flower has been plucked and burned. A blind man's sight has been given him again, and they have dug a fresh well that gives water to the whole town. Let us look about. Perhaps we may find someone near. If we do, he shall rue the day. Then they began to flutter about, and soon down the two men below the water in a rage, pitting and pecking them in the face with their wings and beaks, till they were quite blind and lay nearly dead upon the ground under the gallows. The next day passed over, and they did not return to the palace. And their old comrade began to wonder with their age bent, and went out the following morning in search of them, and at last found them where they lay, dreadfully repaid for all their folly and baseness. Data, the end, everyone. That's the end of the two stories. I am starting to read nonsense, so I'm gonna have to go. And just so I don't accidentally jump scare anyone, awal lagi saya yang ngantuk. Awal bagimu. Just so I don't jump scare anyone in case they're sleeping. We won't have any raids tonight, everyone. So we can let the sleepers continue sleeping. Good luck. rest of your morning, day, night, evening, whatever. We might step now. Discord activity schedule. So, wasi besok cuti nice. Selamat bercuti. I'll see you guys on the next stream. Or in case I accidentally fall asleep, I'll see you guys next week. Oyasumi Otsu. Bye bye everyone. A good rest of your day, week, month, and happy weekend. Oyasumi.